Hey, Kyle, you got time
Now,
for a
yes.
Canada question?
Oh, please. I love these.
So I've had discussions with Canadians, and depending on where they are in Canada, sometimes they can get defensive about it, and I don't know why. But the bagged milk, do you guys
Yes.
Can we talk about this bagged milk situation?
Let's talk about bagged milk.
Yes.
Can we, please?
So it seems like some of the Westies, they're like, we don't do that, and they're very defensive about it.
Papa's popping and locking, Magnum scrutinizing. Papa Max Podcast.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to episode 30 of the Papa Mags Podcast. Mags, we're up to 201 days since we've been told it'll be a few weeks until we can take our NFTs off a Theta drop. 201.
Really? That's a few weeks.
You know where I saw that number?
Where? Where did you see that number?
Popandmags.com. Cheap plug.
Popandmags.com. I heard that's the number 2 place to go for Papa Mags content.
And what would be the number 1?
Number 1? I don't know. Maybe Twitter. Maybe actually listening.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But just on that point of a few weeks or whatever, I think I might have mentioned this to you, but our fans, the 10s and 10s might not know this, but we've had an ongoing issue with Pandora, where we've been trying to get onto the Pandora platform because there is literally ones and ones that really want to get this hot pineapple action going on over there. And I was going through right. And I've been going through, I was looking at the numbers this week for this episode. Very good, our last episode. And I saw...
Well, how could they not be? It was the very best episode.
It is literally the very best episode we've ever had. So anyways, I'm going through this and I go, Pandora? What the hell? And now all of a sudden we're on Pandora. Their thing when I submitted us back almost when they Theta had the AMA back in May was they said it'd be 4 to 6 weeks. So their 6 weeks was over a half a year.
Well, that's better than a few weeks being 200 days, I guess.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has almost never happened before, but General Dole and Charizard69 have just joined us.
Theta.
Charizard69.theta. Charizard's here, 69. And General Dole, so there was a contest from ThetaCon. We're getting the results live here as we're taping. So this was for a hand-drawn pineapple from Rare Robot himself on the back of a bar receipt at ThetaCon 2022. It's pretty cool. So right now, without further ado, let me pass it to General Dole. General.
Before we get going, General, can I just ask how much was that bar tab? I heard some crazy stories.
Hey, that was NEC's bar tab, man. My bar tab, I wasn't on Ballers. I didn't have
gift list.
I bought one. I think on that bar tab was maybe 2 rum and cokes and whatever D-Bog was drinking. I bought him a drink. I think on that round I think that was me, D-Bog, and Blaze on that bar tab. I don't know what's on the back, but I think it's only 3 drinks.
Okay, just curious. Yeah. Thank you. So,
okay.
How did this come about?
So this came about. We had a great event, as you all know, for the ThetaCon, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, you know what? There's so many amazing people in the Twitterverse that are Theta fans and Pine fans, and they did miss out, and I wanted to see if I could bring something that was unique and special to someone who didn't get to make it. I know many Pines that wanted to go, and for whatever reason, family, work, whatever it may be, just they couldn't it wasn't in the cards.
Sure.
So James was amazing person to talk to. Yep. And I just said, hey, I got an idea, and you can easily say no, it's not a big deal, but this is what I'm thinking. And he's like, no, I love it. And so I said, if you want to do it in 30 seconds, 3 minutes, or whatever long you want to take, just do it, bang something out. And he did, and closed up the bar receipt. Actually, I brought it back with me, so whoever gets it is going to get the actual bar thingy majiggy that you close up, and I don't know, the waitress is probably still looking for it, and maybe that's what they charge the $1,700 for. I don't know, but anyway, it came out really nice, and it looks badass. He signed it, initialed it, and I think it would be a badass tattoo as well. But put out a contest a couple days later, and we had a lot of engagement with it, which was cool. And without further ado, I have Charizard on the phone with me. We did it together so we could verify each other, and so there was some proof on some stuff, and screenshotted it, and we'll release that on Twitter after the announcement. Without further ado, Nico Bizarro.
Nice.
Oh shoot!
That's my
pi-
Rico Suave song, but Nico Bizarro is the winner of the hand-drawn pineapple.
He's my pineapple pizza boy that sent that one piece of it looked like the most delicious pizza ever, and there was like little tiny slices of pineapple on it.
Nice.
So I said I'd try that one.
So congrats to him, and look forward to once he hears this, have him just reach out, man, and I'll send it out your way.
Yeah, and we hope to see you at next year's ThetaCon.
Absolutely.
Any words from Charizard 69?
Theta.
Well,
Yeah,
let's hope
and-
he listens to this episode and nobody tells him.
Yeah, don't tell him, guys. He's got to listen.
Nope. We're
Not at
waiting
all.
until the release. From my side, I'm giving away a hat and a shirt that were given at the meeting, both signed by the Rare Robot, and the hat actually has a little pineapple drawn by him. So they're both really cool gifts, and we just wanted people who weren't at the event to get a little bit of history, because I feel like that was history for not just the pineapples, but Theta community. So for the shirt, our winner is at Pineapp 33263068. That's the winner.
Nice.
I verified on Twitter that he
Okay.
posted a picture, and he follows Rare, the SPS, and the winner of the hat. The winner of the hat is Alf, the Alf.
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 But
Yep,
He's
Alf
always
won
winning
it.
shit.
Alf won the hat.
All right, cool. Congrats,
Good
Alf.
job,
That's
Alf.
great.
All right, boys. Well, you have a good evening. I'll catch you later, and keep on doing great work.
All right, Dol. Thank
all right,
you.
thanks, guys. We'll see you
Right, boys.
outdoors.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Char.
guys. Have a good night. Thanks.
Yeah, we'll
You
talk
too.
soon.
We now return you to the Poppin' Mags Pinecast, already in progress.
Unfortunately, you had to leave ThetaCon prior to the last AMA on Sunday morning, and I happened to be in there, and it was one of those AMAs where literally they were just going throughout the crowd, and anyone could ask any questions. There was nothing pre-prepared. No.
Really?
Yeah, no. It was just on the spot questions being asked, and they were taking all the questions. And they also were asking people that were online that were watching, which there was over 400 of them at the time, streaming live from theta.tv. And one of the first question that came up from an online guest, I believe it was our boy Samson1111, he asked about withdrawing our NFTs from Theta Drop, and immediately Andrea was like, "Why don't you ask Poppin' Mags?" And then Wes was like, "Who's Poppin' Mags?"
One, I was going to save this for later. I don't even know if I was going to bring this up, but and I know we're going to talk about briefly a little bit of ThetaCon 2022.
Yeah, this is the perfect spot for this, though.
But so, anyways, you know me, I'm very shy and very humble. And when we started to check in to get our badge and our swag for ThetaCon 2022,
yep,
I was with NEC Chief, and Wes Levitt was out there, and him and
Wes won.
And so, anyways, Chief introduced me. He goes, "Hey, Wes, this is Magnum. He wants to know why you hate him."
Oh.
And, and then Wes says, Who is he?" He just destroyed me. And I was like, you did like, or I don't know if he retweeted, but he definitely liked.
Oh yeah. No, he commented under it, right?
He commented on
His first comment since like December of last year.
right on the whole domain,
Yeah.
the domain debacle
Yeah.
with Theta drop, with Sushi Cat's epic also
Yep.
roasting of me, that video. So the domain name, as the video was called. So so that was, that was just brutal.
Yeah. So
But
Chief is the master of introductions, huh? Oh, cool. Thanks, Chief. I just got here. Is
Yeah,
it time to
but
go home yet? All right. So I know we're a couple of weeks. It's been 2 weeks since our last regular episode, since we had the live event last week at ThetaCon, which was awesome. But in the meantime, I know you were big on this drop, the Creator Club. Did you end up getting the poker challenge NFT?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you? I'm not either. Did you use it? Did you use it? Or did you sell it?
I didn't sell it and I didn't use it.
Okay, so you're just
Is
gonna.
it true? Is it true if you don't use it, you will lose it?
I don't think it just disappears, right? I mean, there's all these other ones like the
It wasn't a serious question.
Okay. Well, with you, I never know, man. So.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I was very curious about this, this challenge and some of the purchase activity afterwards. I mean, it's cool to me to have this poker thing, but the prizes, was 100 people could play, and then the top prize was $100 of T drop and an NFT. Like, I don't know. They gave away what, $250 worth of T drop, which we all know they have a big giant pile the size of Mount Everest of, and for NFTs. I don't know. People were paying $30 for this thing though. It's like, to me, this is a $3 buy-in poker tournament. So I don't know. I'm not sure.
That happens with a lot of the challenges though, like the
Yes.
those slug packs. They were going for like $100 the other day. There was what, 5 passaways of those special ones, right? And
okay. The Doom,
shirt. I did open a shirt. Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah,
Doom.
yeah. Yep.
Those challenges. So like, yeah, you're gonna open something, you're not gonna get anything. So, I mean, it's a market, right? So.
No, for sure. And if you can sell that for $30, then great on you. But who's buying it for $30 when fourth place pays $25 out of 100?
Right.
I don't know.
Well,
Not me.
If it sold for $30 at one point, then I should have had a sale. I haven't looked at my Theta drop yet.
Okay, well, that was a while ago. I think the poker tournament has happened, so I'm not sure they're worth anything more. But
okay.
Yeah, no, that. I was just curious how you felt about that being and I know you went pretty deep on the Creator Club.
I went way too deep, way deeper than anyone should. But I mean, hey, maybe they're trying to write this shit. Maybe this is just one of, whatever, like more stuff. So I can't knock that. Sure, you can knock those prizes, but it's also fun just to play, a fun game of poker.
Sure.
So
I agree. Speaking of poker, there was a lot. I mean, I went on a massive manhunt trying to figure out this golden poker chip. I know for a fact. I know that it used to say that you had to redeem it, I believe, by December 1st. And I asked Twitter. I asked on the Pinecast, the Tens and Tens.
Right.
I asked in Discord. Nobody knows. And then finally, I think it was Matt Tessitore was just like, we don't know. You should open up a ticket. So I opened up a ticket on Theta Drop, and 5 days later, I finally get a response. And guess what, guys? I got an answer here. There is no end redemption date for the gold poker chip, according to Agent J, I believe it was, that responded.
Who the hell is that? Agent J?
Yeah. Have you
from Men in Black?
No. Have you ever opened a Theta Drop ticket?
Yes.
You get an email response, and it's like Agent J or Agent K. Yeah. You never noticed that?
But Agent J and Agent K are from Men in Black. Is that like a play on Men in Black?
No, I don't think so. But maybe in your head
Oh,
it is.
okay.
So there
All
it is,
right.
folks. No, according to my insider, there's no end date for the redemption of the gold poker chips. I'm wondering when the actual airdrop is of the if you redeem these things. I know that was supposed to happen. There's other benefits that you're supposed to get for these. So I'll have to ask about that next. But no answers on that part. But no end redemption date. So good news.
He didn't say you asked for the end of the redemption period, and he said, "Oh well, there's some swamp gas reflecting off of Venus." Um, but all
Yeah.
right.
Well,
Anyways,
speaking of swamp, uh, dude, our boy Swamp, man, he must have had a great time at ThetaCon.
swamp butt.
Yeah, Swampy.
Why do you say
Because,
that?
well, did you see what he accumulated this week? He
Oh yes,
he
four
got all
pins.
4 pins for 10 T fuel each. I
Oh,
mean,
that's a
what a
great
steal!
deal. That's sounds like he had a deal worked out, Popper.
I would imagine. But hey, numbers don't lie, right? 10 T fuel. So congratulations, Swampy, newest member of the 4 pin club.
That you're not in and never have been.
Oh,
In.
wait. That's not true. We went over this before. Popper has the T
We're
fuel pin
not.
now.
No, he
It
doesn't.
was retweeted by Rare Robot. Popper's got the T fuel pin. X gets the square.
No, circle gets the square, but if you want to tell yourself that, then tell yourself that. That's cool.
All right. So, I mean, Swamp hasn't been the only pine that's been tearing it up here. You know who the other one is?
The general has been
Yeah.
freaking moving large lately.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, just keeping on adding to that beautiful collection. He's already got the Dark Viking that is pretty much worthless. Call me General. But yeah, he added a nice one this week. I'm trying to remember. I know it was Theta Blindfold, Electric Shaker, right? And a hidden Theta
Electric
pin.
Theta shaker, hidden Theta pin.
And then
Yep.
what kind of?
Crown, gold crown.
Oh yeah, Gold Crown. That's right.
And
Yeah.
the that face. Tan
Oh
smirk.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I like those. Yeah, those smirks. Well, General, congratulations. I think you and Swamp have to share MVP honors for the last 2 weeks, so that's cool. All right, man. So going back to Swampy, a couple weeks ago, I don't know if you noticed this, but Swamp put out a Twitter poll, and it was about creamer and coffee. Okay. Do you remember? Do you remember seeing this?
No, I don't.
Okay. So he put out, just basically like how are people drinking their coffee, and it was like targeted against creamer and coffee.
Okay.
So option number 1, creamer is for losers. Option number 2, creamer less than 0.25. I guess that means like a quarter of your cup is creamer.
Okay.
And then option 3 was 0.26 to 0.5. And then option 4 was mainly creamer. Out of those,
creamer.
Yeah, out of those 4 options, where are you sitting? All right, so you're basically under a quarter, right?
Yes.
That's where 21% landed, and that's where I land too. Listen, basically, it comes down to people answered that 67% of them answered that creamer is for losers. Out of quite a few people. Now, listen, I like creamer. I don't like it. I'm not nowhere near 0.25, but I'm definitely like creamer in my coffee.
Yeah.
And if I don't have it and I go black coffee, I like honey in my coffee, which is delicious also.
If I go black coffee, it's got to be a strong coffee.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Are you going just straight black, or are you putting sugar in too?
No, I'm going straight black. But it's got to be like a some kind of espresso blender, like dark.
Oh, okay.
Like then I'll do that. But I mean, if it's not like that strong and bold like me, then yeah, it's gonna need some creamer in it, and I'm not gonna drink it black.
What about iced black?
I would never drink iced black. I don't think I've ever drank iced black.
Okay, me either.
That seems stupid.
Well, better than room temperature black. That's for sure.
Maybe. Sure.
No, that is for sure. Yeah. So that's Swampy's thing. I know that he put it out there, and I'm pretty sure that he chose creamer as for losers, as the way that the poll was written was highly suggestive of pick that as your answer. So I'm not sure if that
Right.
swayed the population.
There's an anti-creamer agenda, I think, going on over
Yeah,
there.
that for sure there, but I'm not sure if other people were like, oh, let me just I drink my coffee black too. That seems like a lot of people drinking coffee black. So I'm calling foul on this, I think.
I mean, look at the sample size. I mean,
I'd have to look how many there was quite a few that responded though.
yeah, I mean, I guess good for you. I don't know why though.
But hey. All right,
I
so go ahead. You got more?
Was this before or after the indoctrination of all the G Fuel shenanigans from ThetaCon?
No, this was before ThetaCon.
Okay. All right.
Because I actually
Fair.
brought it up with Andrea on Saturday night at ThetaCon, or on Friday night at ThetaCon,
Okay.
and asked her, and she said she drank hers black. Which, okay. Well, actually, I have to admit that she does, because going into all right, you're gonna love this. Sunday morning, right? Going into that AMA, she came in, and I ran into her as she's walking in, and she's got 2 cups in her hand. Okay, the first cup has coffee black in it. Guess what the second cup had in it?
Coffee black in it.
Bacon.
Ah!
I'm not even joking. It was awesome.
That's a strong move.
Yeah, championship move. Breakfast of champions right there. That was great.
Uh,
So speaking of that, I mean, we had, obviously we're a week off of ThetaCon at this point, and I
We're
put
having
out a little,
withdrawals.
yeah, dude, big time, man. That was so much fun.
Yeah, it
Um,
was.
So I put out a little Twitter and just asked people to like share their favorite ThetaCon memory. And man, the responses just kept piling in. So we are compiling them, and we're going to drop them over the course of several weeks, because we could talk for hours just about that.
Yep.
But I do want to throw a few out there. So I don't know if you have one that you want to start with.
So
Like what was your moment of the weekend?
there was too many, but there was too many to count, honestly. But I just have to shout out to Rob, friend of the Pinecast. I kept he was super busy. He was
Yeah.
very busy.
Oh yeah.
Like a lot of people were very busy.
Yeah.
And a
Us
couple
included.
times, yeah, but like way more than us.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I shouldn't have said that.
Sure, but so Rob, so anyways, I kind of it was always through passing. It was really short, and I didn't want to take up his time, but of course we were talking about I think he should leave.
Obviously.
And then so Saturday night, later on Saturday night, at the bar area, eventually, so he's walking up and he runs into me, and then we must have went a half hour straight doing I think you should leave lines. so so because I knew he was busy. I didn't want to bother him, and then
Yeah.
I'm really glad he ran into me and then bothered me about because that's I could talk to him forever about that.
Yeah, so, I noticed that before.
So that one definitely sticks out for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And Rare Robot's appearance. So
oh yeah, well that was cool, and then just being able to hang out with Rare, that was a good time. Just down to earth, chill guy. Had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What about you?
Yeah, the same thing as you. There's so many. I'm going to stick with the one that I mentioned on Twitter. Sunday night, I had just gotten back to the hotel, went out to Hollywood Beach, just took an Uber down there. It wasn't far away, and there's a nice little boardwalk, and had a good time there, and came back. We spent the extra night. Came back down, and it was a lot quieter. Most of the crowd had already left, but
A lot of the
it was just
going.
Yeah, most of it. Some of it was still there. I was just hanging out at the bar, and all of a sudden, Andrea comes over, and she's just like, "Oh, can I borrow you for a second?" It's like, "Yeah, sure." And walk over, and there's John Heater, and there's Justin Winters and Efren Ramirez from the Order of the Tigons. yeah, so I walk over and, right into a conversation with those guys, which was pretty cool. And then next thing you know, Andrea's asking, well, she starts already right into like, oh, do you guys like pineapple on pizza and this and that? And John Heater loves pineapple on pizza. And I'm talking like ham and pineapple, like loaded up with pineapple. And Pedro seemed to be of the same mindset. So Andrea starts, I didn't even realize she was recording this. She asked Efren, she's like, oh, how do you like your pizza? And he's like, in my mouth with ham and pineapple on it. And then she like puts the camera on me. And she's like, how does that make you feel? Or something like that. And I was just like, hey, better in his mouth than in mine. So that was pretty cool. And then hanging out with those guys and, shooting the breeze a bit with Efren and, just pretty cool to be hanging with them. They're way down to earth guys and might have even made a little business deal for us. I don't know. We'll see. Stay tuned.
Well, it's funny that stuck out in your mind. That was that one upset me when she sent me that video because I wasn't there.
I know, and it wasn't.
And then continued to play like all the cool stuff that happened.
I know.
Afterwards.
That was my fault. That she continued with that, but I thought that was funny. Yeah, we Andrea sent that to Mags, and then she said that we were heading up to the boardroom, which is where we recorded the podcast. Andrea's boardroom, right? So
right.
That's where we recorded the podcast with her, and we were just joking around. Obviously, I told her it was going to be the Pop and Dre show. But that was a lot of fun. There was one response that really struck me. I believe it was Theta Amy. I think that's how she goes. First of all, I did not know who Amy was, and it seems like she did a lot of work. It was always Brian and Doc and Slick and T-Fuel Inferno and Rob. A lot of those guys I know Theta Zilla Club did a lot of work, and there's plenty of others too, but I never knew about Amy, right? But it seemed like she did a ton, and she was all over the place during the whole event. So shout out to her. But
Definitely.
she had a response, and it was basically just like it wasn't like one singular event, but the event of like two people meeting each other and then like the smile on their face when they recognized who they were finally meeting. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like that resonated big with me because there was obviously a few people that I knew their faces going into it, that they didn't know who I was, but there was plenty of people that I did not know who their faces was. And it was just like, oh, like, you're Char or, whoever. So it was that was definitely a cool, like a reveal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, listen, there's a ton more responses we got. There's a ton more that we'll go over in the coming weeks. But we got a guest this week, man, and what a guest we had. It's this guy's living some kind of life, man, that a lot of people would probably dream of. I've seen these things online. It's like, would you live in this house with no internet and whatever for $1 million for a year? That's basically, I mean, I think he's got internet. He's obviously got internet. He was able to call in, but living off the grid, just living quite a lifestyle, man. The one and only Camp Theta.
After these messages.
This week's episode is brought to you by Sizzle Popcorn, the official popcorn of Poppin' Mags Pinecast. Choose from a variety of delicious flavors including lightly salted, cheddar, salt and vinegar, Mexican chili, maple syrup, and, yeah, even ketchup. The perfect snack for any occasion. Use promo code POPPINMAGS at checkout for an additional 10% off. That's POP_MAGS.
Papa Max, yeah. Papa Max. Papa Max Podcast. Papa Max Podcast.
Gentlemen.
How's it going?
Not too bad. Just a heads up. I'm here in the middle of the woods on a satellite uplink, so there's a bit of a lag.
Okay.
It's really easy to cut people off.
I do that all the time.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining us, man. Kyle,
Well,
right?
thank you so much for having me, Kyle. Yeah, you figured me out.
I watched the Twitter thing, and actually, Adrian from Trueverse blew you up beforehand, or maybe it was Lisa. They're like, Kyle. I'm like, who's Kyle? Because I thought your name was Max.
Right. That the whole Twitter account just came up out of it was just a meme account, and it was that I named it after that the Max Power Simpsons episode.
Yes.
So
Oh.
I got the name off a
Yes.
hairdryer.
Oh boy, I see where this is going already.
Well. So real quick though, so Homer, because what happened was in the episode, this is great. He's coming in freaking hot. So in the episode,
we're going with this.
Kyle, you don't mind if I kind of explain that episode real quick, do you?
No, please.
So basically, there was this cool TV show that came out in The Simpsons, like they were watching on TV. That was kind of like it was like a cop show, and one of the cops was named Homer Simpson, and he was like really cool. And then Homer was police cops, and Homer's just police cops. But then there was a like what happens with TV shows is they tested something and they thought it'd be better if he was like a dumb imbecile boof. And so all of a sudden, and then Police Cops was huge and people were making fun of Homer because he was so stupid in Police Cops. So Homer got so upset because he went from the coolest thing to being embarrassed that his name is Homer Simpson because of Police Cops that he went to the judge to petition he went to the judge to petition for his name to be changed, and the judge said, and so Kyle's right. It was Max Power was he got it off a blow dryer, hair dryer, but the judge said that he goes, well, I guess he submitted like 3 names, and he says, well, since you submitted 3 names and only spelled one correctly, I'm going to go with the one you spelled correctly or something like that. And also too, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention also from that groundbreaking episode of The Simpsons, shout out, that he goes, there's 3 ways to do things, son. He's talking to Bart. He goes, this is
my favorite.
There's the right way to do it, the wrong way to do it, and the Max Power way to do it. And Bart's like, well, isn't the Max Power way to do it like also the wrong way? And he goes, yes, but it's much faster.
Oh man. You never cease to amaze me, Max.
I never cease to amaze myself. I can't believe this became a Simpsons podcast episode. I'm super excited now.
Yeah, right away.
That happened.
Record timing. I mean, at least with Rob Feldman, you waited to towards the end to take it over.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, Popper. Let's bring Kyle back into this.
Yes, Kyle, my man.
Yes,
dude.
sir.
So how you doing, man? I kind of know a little bit about you, but I'm not sure that the 10s and 10s do.
Right. Okay. So I'm just chilling here on my private lake tonight.
That sounds great.
Cabin my wife and I built by hand about 10 years ago. We were trying to do things on the cheap because we just bought the land, a big huge chunk of land. Bitcoin helped with that. I got into Bitcoin back in 2012, so that was fortunate. Wow. And was able to buy a good chunk of land. And yeah, we wanted to do things on the cheap, and we wanted to do things kind of as ecologically as possible. So I just started doing home demos and taking down people's fences and just running away with all the materials, just stockpiling them. And we built the first little section of our house for like $9,000 10 years ago, just with recycled materials. And we don't even have a road that goes in, so we had to like blaze trails and build bridges and carry all the materials on our shoulder and paddle them in with canoes. And it's been an adventure. Life's been like a science experiment for the last 10 years or so.
That is wild, man. That sounds great. Honestly, just secluded in your own little area. I mean, are you completely living off the land up there?
Oh, that's a pretty big ask. The land around us is all like Canadian Shield, so it's like 10 kilometers of granite straight down.
Uh,
Uh, if I wanted to dig an outhouse or a basement or something, I need dynamite. So not a lot of soil for like farming opportunities, but we do our best with the little patches that we have, and we do grow food. There's not a huge focus on it, and I have some friends that are ranchers down the road from me, so good source of meat on top of all the game that's around here, and of course, plenty of fish in the lake. So
yeah.
so a lot of fish in the diet.
Yeah. So that ties us into some smoked fish here, right? We got an NFT
Hell
drop
yeah.
from you on Open Theta.
Yeah, that was maybe 5 months ago or so. Drop smoked fish NFTs. There was 69 editions. They were all hand compiled, hand drawn by yours truly. I've been a professional artist for
Oh, nice.
I don't know, 30 some odd years. So really wanted to inject some cool hand-drawn art into the space, and I thought that I could probably provide some really unique utility with the campground that I've run for the last 10 years back here. The smoked fish NFTs got people. First of all, there was art drops that happened. So 5 signed metal prints of the art went out.
Oh, nice.
Also badges 1, 2, and 3 in the airdrop fishing derbies, the airdrop derbies that I was doing. Various species got certain badges. Some badges got handed out to everyone. Badge number 1 got handed out to everyone, and that wound up being a DRM key to videos that I uploaded of Camp Theta, which is kind of the sister project, if you will.
Yep.
And then so badges 1, 2, and 3 got dropped, and the deal is for next year for Camp Theta. This year we sold out with MetaPass tickets, which was really cool. It was just an awesome DApp to use. Highly recommend as an event coordinator. Just beautiful. But next year, we're not selling tickets. The only way to get a ticket to Camp Theta is to collect all 6 badges that are airdropped from smoked fish NFT challenges.
Oh,
so
cool.
It's an interesting kind of a social experiment, because the prices to the ticket, now that I've got an event behind us, and it was just so fun. Tons of camp games that I call the Wilderverse games, where you earn NFTs and T Fuel through stuff like canoe races and axe throwing and fishing derbies and
Oh, man.
shooting competitions, scavenger hunts, fire starting, lots of cool games. All you can drink, high-end food, private lake, no one around for miles. It's a pretty awesome experience. And so badge number 1 got you the DRM key to see the exclusive videos from Camp Theta, and now the cat's out of the bag with how the events go. And the second set of smoked fish is dropping February 23, so we're only a few months away.
Okay.
You're going to be able to pick up badges 4, 5, and 6 through the airdrop challenges linked to them. Collect all 6 badges, you get a ticket to Camp Theta 23. And because it's all out of my hands at this point, it's kind of interesting to see the value that the community is putting onto the badges and ultimately onto the tickets once those start getting distributed. Since I'm not selling the tickets anymore, it's just interesting seeing the value of them being decided by the community.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned that you did have a Camp Theta get together this past year, right?
Yes, sir. That was August 25th through 28th.
Oh, that's strange, because there was this guy on Twitter that was chirping about you being like a rug puller and selling NFTs and then not following through. I'm not sure.
Oh,
do you remember this?
hold on. I'm just gonna pull up my Twitter again because I can't even remember the guy's name. I know he's just so forgettable.
It was
Hold on.
BitConnect.
BitConnect. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, BitConnect. He's got 2 other accounts that just follow him around. He only ever gets 2 likes on anything. It's the same 2 accounts. They follow him around like they're turd nuggets, just riding the butt hairs of his dying Twitter account. I don't know if they're sock puppets or what, but
Could be his alter egos as well. You never know.
it could be. So the crazy thing is that he posts all this stuff about every single NFT is a scam, and this is, you're just enabling Theta to just go in a terrible direction, and rah rah rah.
Yeah.
And he'll tweet stuff like that, and he'll get a like from this account that says they're an NFT promoter, and they've got like 25,000 followers.
Oh wow.
And that's one of the accounts that follows him around and likes all his stuff.
Huh.
So it's that one's a chin scratcher.
Yeah,
Make of it
for
what
sure.
you will.
There must be some kind of a script that's written or something. Who knows? I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah, maybe it's a bot. I don't know. But he was running around calling me a scammer, saying that I imagined Camp Theta. It never happened. So I posted a 1,000 T Fuel prize for him to sit down face to face on a video call and just like have at me, like tell me all about your wonderful ideas. What's going on in that brain of yours? Really flesh this out for me.
I think it was actually 10,000 T Fuel.
Well, so originally 1,000, and then I had a bunch of people in the community be like, well, you need 10,000, and to really sweeten the pot. And then within like 5 minutes, I had so many people just pledge 1,000 T Fuel each to see that dude's face that we got to 10,000 in 5 minutes. And then it was a 10,000 Fuel reward. But of course, he won't sit down because he's just, he's flushed himself in the toilet of his own mind so long ago that he's just stewing in some kind of delusional fervor. It's absolutely hilarious to watch.
I would certainly sit down for the 10,000 T Fuel. My boy Magnum here took a large quantity of cash off me at DataCon over the weekend, so I could use that 10,000 T Fuel for sure.
How'd that happen?
Well, apparently it's very expensive to do this.
We've been doing it for half a year. I sent you an invoice. You didn't get the invoice because apparently you don't check that email account anymore. So
yeah, that's
just let the record
been overtaken.
I was so humble that I was like, you know what? Should I just eat it and not, pass on the bill?
Yeah, you were so humble that I heard it from like 3 or 4 people that I didn't pay my bill. Very humble.
I'd strike if I were.
Was Ivory one of them?
Okay.
No. Okay. He's humble enough to not have said anything, I guess.
Okay. All right.
Make like the janitors union at Twitter and just strike. Really stick it to the man.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna call it a night. Mags, you take it from here. It's too much money. Just kidding. So, all right. So now, hold on. So we brought up BitConnect, right? But there's
Is
more
that how
to
you
this.
pronounce it? I swear it's BitConnect.
Do you remember that there was a crypto called BitConnect? Do you remember that one? It was a total
I remember
scam.
that one.
Yeah, that's who this guy is. BitConnect. He's his I forget what the guy's name is. Mags, do you know who that guy was? The
I don't know. I think he lived in New York City somewhere, like Brooklyn or something. But
yeah, he was like the spokesman that was up on the stage just yelling BitConnect. So that's what this guy is. It's the picture of that guy. And so he's named after a total rug pull crypto. I mean, isn't that, ironic?
Oh, the irony.
Yeah.
I just like calling him BitConnect.
BitConnect, yeah. Yeah.
The irony is, I don't know if this guy was chiming in on you either, Kyle, but there's this other guy who is a big Mitch Lou fan, and he's got an account, but it doesn't seem like Yeah, he's a
that
super
dude.
fan.
Oh,
He
that
doesn't
dude.
seem like he's a real super fan, though. You know what I mean?
He's
Weird.
definitely not waving a foam finger in the air. There is
Could
no
be the
giant
same guy.
novelty oversized cowboy hat, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yes, can
hey,
do nothing right.
there's so much drama in this community. It's kind of hard being a guy who creates NFTs, but somehow, some way, I keep coming up with funky ass shit nearly every single day. So there's that.
Well, Popper. So we mentioned before on this that, well, at least I've mentioned that I was kind of, I wouldn't say happy, but I would say happy that, you know, I liked you standing up for yourself, and but it was kind of nice that I wasn't involved in any of these
oh yeah,
drama.
no, it's nice.
Because,
it's nice to have a round off.
yeah, we've been involved in a little bit too much drama, and I was like, oh man, you know, Max Theta is getting the same drama.
Tag him in.
Yeah, please come on in, and I got to take a break. You know what I mean? So appreciate that.
So wait, you guys, you know, I thought you guys were kind of over that. I didn't think you had to go in front of Judge Judy anymore. Is that not happening?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
I think all I know is some stuff popped up after ThetaCon or during the end of ThetaCon, right, Popper?
Yeah. No, I mean, I came home to it, and because I didn't check Twitter the whole time, basically, that I was at ThetaCon, and then came home and saw some more nonsense on Twitter, you know, and it's like, anytime that we say something, you get like 4 or 5 guys that are like, "Oh, you're still talking about this? Drop it!" Like after like we were attacked and didn't even respond yet, so it's like we're being attacked for responding to an attack. Like, give me a break. And then it was like, okay, this thing's done. And now 3 weeks later, there's like another tweet out there that didn't like tag us, but certainly sounded like it. And it's like, you know, where are these guys calling us out for not letting things go?
Well,
now.
And I will say too, you know, he had this lengthy thing on Twitter, and then you acknowledged it. You acknowledged it.
Yeah.
And you got a bunch of kudos. I didn't say anything because there was
and
still
combos.
this threat in combos. There still seemed to be a threat of basically like, you know, like I'm reserving the right to and so that's why I couldn't get behind that, you know, as they say. So I kind of feel a little bit better. I didn't say anything about it. But
yeah,
anyways,
you're in the better position right now. That's for sure.
Let's just bring this back now to our guest, who's also in, you know.
Yeah, let's bring this back because Jeopardy. Honestly, this Jeopardy story didn't really start with BitConnect. It started with Alien Like.
Oh, it did start with Alien Like. Yeah, it
did. So tell me the history of you with Alien. You used to be like a subscriber, right? And listen in.
Yeah. I definitely watched you know, a few videos when it's when you've had a long day and you need a recap, and you weren't neck deep in the Theta community all day. You never know what's going on, so it wasn't always you know, new news, but you know, the guy did a good job, I think, of you know, just summarizing everything, and you know, if only to onboard new people, right? He's not necessarily speaking to the choir or anything like that, but
another voice bringing
community outreach.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I definitely watched the odd Alien Like video. It was, you know, after the T-bill thing, and of course the first time I heard about T-bill was on Alien Like, and just for me personally, you know, I see any product with that high of an APY, and I'm just gonna go like, red flag.
You and me both.
Not for me. Not for me. Gonna sit this one out. I don't mathematically understand how that works. Now I'm just a simple log farmer. You know, APY frightens and confuses me. But I don't understand. I don't understand the value. So I was like, okay, not gonna do that. Whatever. And then he just started just pumping that stuff hard. And then, so of course, is, you know, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but essentially like licensed his his brand for those NFTs, right? For the stickers, the multiplier stickers.
Yeah.
And then after all that, then the channel just got deleted. Right?
Yeah,
And then he's
completely.
and then he's just gone
Yep.
after the sticker sale. So of course, like, I don't know, if you can't say anything nice about something, don't say it at all. I always subscribe to that, which is why I never mentioned T-bill. I never, tweeted about stickers and alien like and this, that, and the other thing. Don't care. But then the other day, dude pops his head up from from the hidey hole and says, hey everyone, just wanted to let you know why I deleted my YouTube videos, because I've never told anyone. Oh, it turns out that I had some copyright strikes, and this was my favorite part of the whole thing was and I didn't want the channel to get deleted by YouTube, so I deleted the channel. and then you kind of go,
strategy.
Huh? yeah, super awesome. So I don't know, that one doesn't really pass the sniff test, especially with the timing of his disappearance.
Yeah.
So then I'm reading through the comments and everyone's like, hey, maybe talk on T-bill a little bit. What happened there, buddy? And that's pretty much the consensus of most of the comments. And Theta Diamond asked him the same thing. Says, hey, maybe you want to make some content about the T-bill. And actually, he didn't mention it by name. And Alien was like, huh? Whoa,
yeah, exactly,
what are you talking about? Make contact about what? and so it just evolved into Alien saying like, oh, but you're biased and you're just coming down on me. You do the exact same thing, he said to Theta Diamond. It's like, if you imagine when Milli Vanilli got caught lip syncing and they were like, don't talk to me, talk to the Rolling Stones. They're like, talk to my record company. Don't talk. Why would you say anything about me? It's like, oh, dude, you you licensed an image for however much money, probably a good amount of T-fuel, a bucket of T-fuel, and you licensed your image on a control print, million print run of little alien faces, and you're talking smack to this dude that's been here since the beginning, comes out with original artwork every single day, original utility, pays people, grinding, building, growing every single day. Alien Lake comes out of his hidey hole after licensing 1 million control print stickers and is like, but it's you though.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now that's the point where I stop going, all right, nothing good to say, not going to say it at all. I'm just like, no, got to get off my butt. And it just revved me up so much that
what's that?
That I just
I've never really been.
I just had to go for
a. I know Mag certainly hasn't.
Oh, come on.
I just had to go for a walk and blow off some steam. So that's where that little rant video comes from.
Yeah.
And I do it again. I thought, after I posted, I thought, oh, geez, I'm kind of kicking the hornet's nest here. I wasn't sure what to expect. But the videos had over 3,200 views. And it took me like 2 days to clear my DMs from that.
Oh, wow.
And it was 100% positive.
Wow.
I had people DMing me that were from like inside G-Pool and people that like love T-bill, and they're like, listen, I want to tell you that I love T-bill and these are the reasons why, but no one ever liked Alien Like, so thanks for making that video. We were also very skeptical of his involvement.
Oh, wow.
Kyle, though, too, I know you didn't want to mention it, but I'm going to mention it too, though. Like, you told me, that even his like mother messaged you and said, great job, because I don't know what he's doing. Isn't that happen?
I got a lot of
Oh,
DMs.
Max.
She might have been one of them for sure.
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right, Mags. Thank you for that.
Let's get back on track, okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Back on track. Smoked fish 2 dropping in
Yeah.
February. I've got some it's a little bit bigger run, certainly not that big. It's there's the badges for Camp Theta are coming out. There's more prizes. There's going to be more contests, and I am dropping a second event, not just Camp Theta this year. Second in real life
Ooh.
event that's going to get tied to Smokefish too. So I'm calling it tripping because we're going canoe tripping. It's going to be a river expedition, and we're going to do 5 days. I'm trying to time it all around a big meteor shower, so that should be really cool.
Wow.
And kind of scouting locations. I've got a few in mind. Regardless, it'll be just beautiful and awesome, and we'll have great food, and there's room for 3 other people. I'm going to guide the thing and provide all the food, provide all the camping gear, and you just got to show up with the clothes on your back, and we'll do some adult beverages and hit the water in a solar powered canoe barge and just tear around northern Ontario for 5 days catching fish and watching a meteor shower. It's going to be pretty sweet.
That sounds awesome. Now, how does a solar powered canoe work? There's no oars. You're not rowing.
Yeah, so I've got an electric outboard motor. It's quite a bit bigger than a trolling motor. It's like a serious. It's only 6 horsepower. Quality German engineering though, and it'll go 80 kilometers on a charge. And the batteries are like only 10 pounds. They're lithium iron phosphate batteries, and there's a small portable solar panel that you can charge the batteries either while you're using them in the motor, or if you've got spare batteries, you can charge them up on deck while you're not using them. So with 3 batteries in the summertime, it's pretty much just limitless. You can just go forever, and it's silent, and it's pretty quick, and it's a real joy to what I do is I set up 2 canoes with like a platform in between them.
Okay, cool.
And that'll carry like 1,200 pounds. So it's kind of like a catamaran. It's kind of like a catamaran with an electric outboard on it. So can fit 4 people and tons of gear, and I'm going to give away 2 seats for that. Will be tied to customs that you'll be able to, luckily mint in the Smokefish 2 drop, and then one ticket is going to be reserved for the original Smoked Fish series. So still providing utility for that.
Sweet.
Even after the second set, so that you'll have a 1 in 69 chance of winning about maybe a $1,500 value canoe trip with
wow.
if you hold one of the original Smokefish.
That's cool. So now you did a Camp Theta giveaway. Is this camping like something that you do for the public as well? Is that what you are running up there?
When we first got this property, we built our house. Now I've got just over 2 kilometers of shoreline on a lake. We're the only property on the lake. It's public land for like 3 days beyond me, kind of thing. It's a big yard.
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
But 2K of shoreline on this lake, and we built our house back from the lake so that you couldn't see it from the lake purposefully, so that the shoreline could be reserved for camping. But we're like terrible capitalists, so we only built the one campsite, even though we've got 2.5 kilometers of shoreline, and we only do like 5, 6, 7, 8 people at a time, and that's a big group. Usually it's just couples and families and stuff. But we did that for years and years and years, and we don't do it much anymore. We have about 300 plus people apply to camp here every year, and like last year we let in I think 12 people, and that includes the 6 that came to Camp Theta.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Exclusive.
So I like just having the place to myself. What can I say?
Wow.
But Camp Theta and the canoe tripping event, these are things that allow me to stay social a little bit and have a party and throw a do and entertain and have a few drinks and throw some beer, throw some axes and stuff. It's a good time. I built a giant wooden T-Fuel logo for this year's event, and there was a little ceremony, and we lit it on fire. There may or may not been gasoline involved.
I would hope there was. Very cool.
Yeah, it'd be a pretty poor show if there wasn't, right?
Yeah, I mean, fire and gas in the woods. Come on, it's gotta.
Hey, Kyle, you got time for a Canada question?
Oh, please. I love these.
So I've had discussions with Canadians, and depending on where they are in Canada, sometimes they can get defensive about it, and I don't know why. But the bagged milk, do you guys get? Can we talk about this bagged milk situation?
Let's talk about bagged milk.
Yes.
Can we, please?
So it seems like some of the Westies, they're like, we don't do that, and they're very defensive about it. Our milk is not.
They're like, yeah, we don't do bagged milk. I don't know what all that's about. They have more like a better bottle return system in the Western provinces. So they take absolutely every opportunity to charge you for any container, like if it's a 2-liter pop or a jug of milk or whatever, right? So so you get charged 5 or 10 cents, and then you have to like take them back, and then you go with like a carload of things, and you get a handful of change. Most people just leave them out for the less fortunate, who will have like trains of shopping carts that go around and collect these bottles, and then that's how they make their meager living. If you want to watch the most amazing film ever, watch Carts of Darkness. It's about homeless people in Vancouver, which is like right in the mountains, who would collect these bottles like on the big hills and the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, essentially, with shopping carts, and just use their feet for brakes. Just basically like hang on to these carts and just like lean a foot out every once in a while to turn them and stuff like that, going down the mountains. And that was just to collect the bottles as efficiently as possible. But then it turned into like this like homeless racing circuit.
Oh wow.
It's amazing. These guys are flying.
Sounds crazy.
Wow. But so the whole point of that is that they wouldn't dare give you a bag in the Western provinces, because it's like, you're not going to return just a empty wet bag of milk, right? So I think that's why they have the jugs. It's because there's a return on the jugs, and then it facilitates whatever kind of like weird sham recycling system that they have out there, where they basically just give you your money back for it and then put it on a freighter and just dump it in the middle of the ocean, or give it to the Philippines or something, who eventually just puts it on a freighter and dumps it into the middle of the ocean. So that 5-10 cent bottle return is just working wonders. So no bags out there, but we have bags, and we're proud of it.
Oh yeah, that was the impression I was getting. So this documentary, it turned into like Fury Road out there with this.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty like dudes had messed themselves up, man. Going down a freaking mountain on some cart with a wobbly wheel. Like, first of all, you got to get yourself a good cart, I suppose.
Oh
right?
My God, yes. Oh,
do you imagine the cart selection that happens there? Like, it's yeah.
I can't even get a cart that you can push around the shopping center half the time with like wiggly wheels, and it
won't go 2 miles an hour, let alone like 50, right?
Oof.
Good movie, Carts of Darkness. It's on the if you go to the National Film Boards of Canada site, nfb.ca, I think it probably is. There's so many cool movies there, all free.
Awesome.
Cards of Darkness is one of them.
I didn't know that it went so deep, so thank you for shining a little light on that.
Bags,
Darkness.
the best part of the bagged milk that I grew up with as a kid. I never knew a jug of milk, like, ever. My grandfather worked for a dairy and was like a milkman way back in the day. And they used to deliver glass bottles before everything was plastic. But like, I never saw a jug of milk growing up. And I'm like 43. So it's all bags. It still is. The coolest part, though, is that there's a little tool to open the bag of milk, and it's called a snippet. Or a snip zit. I think there's a Z in there somewhere. That's right, a Z. And it's a little razor blade. There's a little razor blade in a plastic thing. It's kind of like a safety razor blade, but there's definitely a razor blade in there. And it's on a fridge magnet, and that's on the door of the fridge in every, Canadian home that isn't in the Western provinces. And taking the snip zit off the fridge and opening that bag of milk up was always just a thrill when I was a kid, because you never know how it's going to come out. Good chance is you're going to do it horribly wrong, and the milk is going to come out in like 3 streams, none of which go into the glass at all.
Oh man, that's funny. I've never seen a bag of milk, but that sounds like some of the cereal bags that I open,
Right.
Try to pour the cereal out and it's going 4 different ways.
Exactly. Well, then the milk would be the perfect solution for that. If the cereal's going everywhere and the milk's going everywhere, I think that's a win right there.
Yeah, you got 4 in the family. You just pour it all for each one at the same time.
Exactly.
So we were going back and forth a little bit today, and I saw that you had a bucket list that you sent me.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So on the bucket list, the top thing was paddle to the Arctic. Seriously?
Yeah. One could more properly call it the subarctic if you wanted to be really technical. I think for most people listening, I think anyone would just kind of consider it the Arctic. I mean, there's polar bears
allow it.
there.
Yeah, we'll allow it.
Yeah.
Nobody's listening to this show for technicals. So you're good there.
Well, no batch numbers? Are we not?
Oh man.
God.
No text specs? Okay, so it's the Arctic.
Yeah.
The Arctic, right.
So,
Batch
so
one.
tell us about that.
Yeah, paddled there. My dad and I just grew up in a canoe, and it was weekend trips, week-long trips. By the time I was old enough to kind of hold my own, like 10 years old or whatever, it was like, well, let's go down this crazy whitewater gorge. Okay, I break the boat a little bit and bruise the egos, but we lived. And then it was like, 2-week trips, and then we were always kind of scampering to get to some of the popular places before the crowds got there, because even another few campers or whatever out in the middle of nowhere, it's like you'd rather have the place to yourself. And my dad thought a great way to do that would always be to go as soon as the ice was off the rivers. Icebreaker trips, we called them. So then we'd be going for 2-week trips, like almost in the winter essentially, and no swimming, no good fishing, no nothing. You're just paddling, try and get over the horizon as many times as possible. But that and all that was fine and good. We loved it. And then it turned into like, oh, let's do a 3-week trip to James Bay. And there was a new road that just got built for like a gold mine or something up there outside of a small town called Cochrane. And so it was like a 300-mile paddle through a river that there was no map for. And the only reason we could get there was because this road opened it up. But then we had to find the river. Like, you couldn't see the river from the road, so we had to drive like 200 kilometers up this road, and then suss out where the source of this river was, and then like walk 4K to it, and then paddle So this is where the Canadian Shield that I'm on, I said like 10 kilometers of granite straight down. Well, that stops and it drops off into the Arctic, essentially. It's a rock formation that ceases to be. And that river falls off the side of it over the course of about 200 kilometers. It's just gnarly, death-defying whitewater, and it's in the absolute geographical center of nowhere. So like, yeah, let's do that for 3 weeks, and we'll take out in James Bay, which is controlled by it's part of the Arctic Ocean. It's a tidally controlled by the Arctic Ocean. So if you try to take out at this town that's on the Moosonee, it's on the edge of James Bay at the wrong time in the tide, there's a possibility that you just get swept out into the Arctic. That's it.
Wow.
Terrible way to end the trip.
Yeah, right.
But I don't want to give too much away. It's a long story. It is a story in which I have to jump off of a waterfall and onto a helicopter. And this is going to be recounted in a podcast that I'm making for True VRS.
Oh,
so
sweet.
I'm recording an adventure series. Most of my trips happened, most of the crazy epic trips happened before social media and before recording gear was small and cost effective. So I have nothing but stories, and I'm just going to blab on about my adventures and misadventures of exploring the Canadian waterways for a lifetime. Some fun stories.
That sounds very cool. I think in telling these stories back then, from before social media, one thing I've heard about that is the fish get bigger.
Oh, they were huge back then. Yeah, social media really drove down the size of fish, which is why now people have to hold them right up to the camera to even approximate in a photo how big they used to be.
Right. Artist recreation or some nonsense.
Artist rendition. Actual fish may not exist.
Actual fish size may vary.
All right, I got 2 questions that I'm hoping that you can answer about this trip. All right, so you went to the Arctic, and it sounds like it was a screaming ride down a granite cliff, basically. How the heck did you get back?
Essentially, yeah. So where we put in the town of Cochrane is like as far north as you can go on the highway system. In Ontario, it actually veers. It does go a little bit more north, but it veers west. It takes a big jog west, and it goes, west by northwest. So directly above me, if I go north, Cochrane's as north as I can go on a road system, and then from there you get a train called the Polar Bear Express.
That's
north
real?
from Cochrane. Real train. Interesting tidbit is it's the only train in the world that has a devoted canoe rack car. So that, because it's a popular, if you go north from there, the next stop is Moosonee, and that's the only stop. It is the first and only stop. And so that's on the southern end of James Bay where the Moose River flows out into James Bay. And the Moose River is like a mile wide and less than a foot deep. It's a confluence of just an incredible amount of rivers. The Missinabie, the Wakwayakosik, the Yesterday River. There are tons of these paddling rivers that are on like hardcore canoe and kayakers bucket lists kind of fishermen. And so, every week or so in the summer, there's enough people pull out in Moosonee from epic canoe adventures that they've got a canoe car on there, and you can just load your canoe right onto the train, and then it'll shuttle you back to about the 500 kilometers to Cochrane, and people just park in the train station. for as
Gotcha.
long as their trip is.
All right, that's cool. And now let me just make sure that I heard you say this correctly. You jumped off of a waterfall onto a helicopter.
Yeah.
All right.
It was like a sideways jump because like down wouldn't work.
All right. Well,
That's no way to
I'll look
mount a
forward
helicopter.
to hearing that full story when you're telling it on the Trueverse. But wow, okay. So that's like James Bond stuff. Sounds nuts.
It was it was a really interesting experience. The crazy part happened when the pilot didn't realize I was hanging on to the skid of the helicopter. Hilarity ensued. But we had to get rescued, and it's just dense bush. And so there's literally nowhere to land a helicopter. And it's not like in the movies when people rappel down and hook you into some kind of harness, and then there's a winch and it's like back you. No, it's just one guy. It's just one guy in a helicopter trying to like yell through the glass at me, which of course, not super effective. But it all worked out. I'm still here.
I actually learned today that dense bush is Chief's favorite. So the next thing you had here on the bucket list was an interview on MTV. How'd that come about?
So it turns out I'm one of the world's best Etch-a-Sketch artists. And there was a...
Wait, did you do the Crypto Stash Etch-a-Sketch? Was that you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, of course.
What?
You're serious right now? You did that?
Yeah. I've worked as like a brand representative for the Etch-a-Sketch company. It used to be Ohio Arts. Now it's Spin Master Toys. For like 17 years.
Wow.
Old school Etch-a-Sketch master. Like I got invited on to Montel Williams. But yeah, MTV a couple times too. So that was all. There was 2 or 3 years where that was just full time. I was just like traveling around, doing TV shows, doing soft news on slow news days. They'd drop me out. Here's the Etch-a-Sketch guy. And I still do it from time to time. But yeah, there was a lot of live TV back in the day, and MTV was probably one of the funnest ones. They set me up with apparently one of their VJs was a Guggenheim trained portrait artist, and so we had a 1 hour live battle. Where we had a model sitting in front of us, and we each had 1 hour to do a portrait of a model, me on the Etch-a-Sketch and her with her oil paints. And I won the phone in poll. So there you can go.
Wow, that's wild.
Hashtag winning.
We've mentioned the Simpsons episode. You mentioned Milli Vanilli, and then I saw in another chat, Popper, someone was talking about Crisscross Day. So this day has just been freaking insane for the throwbacks.
Hitting them all. Yeah. So, all right. So we already touched on buying a lake, which is sweet. And this river trip that you're doing, is that a river that is fed off of this lake that you own?
In a roundabout way, yes. Our lake here, Clear Lake, is a spring-fed 140-foot deep lake at the height of the watershed here. It is the highest elevation lake for a very long time. Since it's spring fed, we actually have a waterfall on both sides of our lake. It empties out on opposite sides, and there's water that runs out on both sides. That's how much spring water comes in here. But we exist 80 feet above the rest of the watershed. Essentially, it's weird. It's kind of like it's like a volcanic caldera or something. Like you go uphill for such a long ways, and then you look down and there's a lake on top of things. It's weird. But yeah, there is a gorge. My house is built right on the ravine where the lake empties out of and starts flowing downhill. And then that goes into a river nearby called the Pickerel River. And then the Pickerel River feeds into the French River, and the French River feeds into Georgian Bay, which is Bay of Lake Huron, which like this entire place is just a maze of water. Like I can go in from my front door essentially and boat for thousands of miles if I wanted to, and like
Wow.
in multiple directions.
Usually you don't. Wow.
It's nuts.
Wow. All right.
So it's a good home base.
Yeah. Sounds terrific. Dealing
And
with
a great
lot
place to hold an event.
less stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah, I can only imagine that, man. I mean, what a backyard for sure.
Camp Theta 23 is going to be a little bit bigger and better. Going to try to outdo myself. The prizes this year are definitely getting cranked up a notch. So got a lot of people on board. Maybe some of your favorite Open Theta creators are going to be pitching in customs for custom prizes for the Wilderverse games this year.
Wow.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah. Do you have a date set for that already?
Let me look at the calendar.
No pressure.
It's all still kind of up in the air. But I think it's going to be the last weekend in August again.
Okay.
That's it'll be like the Thursday to the Monday, so the 25th to the 28th again, actually, or something like that, or the 24th to the 27th, right around there. Last weekend in August, and then I guess we'll have to pick a couple weekdays on either side to sacrifice to the forest gods.
All right, guys. Well, get it on your calendars and keep a lookout for it's related right to you have to have the original 3 badges. And then there's going to be 3 more badges available with the drop that's coming up in February, right?
Yeah, that's right. Badges 4, 5, and 6. I'm working on some fun video content too. So I think there's going to be an opportunity for the Smoked Fish NFTs to possibly interact with some new Theta video and interact with that DRM in a fun way.
Very cool. Now you brought it up once already, but let's go back and let's talk about Trueverse.
Yes.
Does any of this tie into Trueverse? This what you're speaking of, or are we talking something totally different?
Yeah, I think it's all gonna wind up tying into the Trueverse in one way or another. Been talking a lot with the team. We're exploring the possibilities right now, trying our best to get some really fun ideas for interactive DRM. And there's definitely going to be just a buttload of free content, but there'll be some premium stuff too. And maybe there'll be like, I don't know, some trivia contests or something like that. Maybe you'll have a leg up if you have some DRM and you get an early screening of some of the video content. Maybe, there's lots of ways to work it, but I'm definitely going to be putting a lot of fun content on True VRS, working on developing a really fun show right now alongside the podcast. The podcast is just going to be to wet some whistles. So lots of opportunity to use DRM in Trueverse. Still kind of spitballing and brainstorming about fun uses of the DRM. So they're definitely going to interact with the NFT projects. But regardless, there's going to be lots of free content that I'm making. So gonna do a wilderness show. We're not going to quite be Survivor Man. I'm not going to start squeezing moose dung for water or anything like that, pretending that I have a broken arm and clubbing seals to make snowshoes out of. But I'm going to try to show a lot of camping hacks. I'm big on modifying gear. I used to work for the North Face in the R&D, like field testing prototype equipment, and helping to design stuff. Was a brand rep there for a while too. So I'm a bit of a gearhead. I like to make my own stuff. I've been a wilderness guide for so long, and teach camping and survival and guiding river trips and stuff like that for so long that I've got a lot to say on the subject, and just an abundance of beauty all around me. So with the new audio visual equipment, it should turn into a really fun show.
Very cool. Now, Me and Mags have had the privilege of being on Trueverse and checking it out, the 3 level house basically, and kind of investigated around. Is what you're doing going to be within that house, or is it kind of like the river that's down, or the whatever body of water that's down below from the house?
Yeah, that's where things start to get interesting, just with the expansive nature of the project. I think some of my first offerings might wind up being in the house or around the house in the outdoor
Okay,
space, but definitely talks of a neat little woodland space,
cool.
water sports space.
Well,
So we'll see if
campsite.
that materializes. Yes, indeed.
Nice. So do you have a time frame for Trueverse? Have you been poking around in there, or is it just kind of seeing where it goes at this point?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for everything to just get to 100%. And I've definitely recorded a bunch of podcasts, and those will go up. I mean, those will go up as soon as everything goes live, I think, or shortly thereafter. The video content, it's I like putting out good products, and I'm a perfectionist, so it's gonna take me a while to get the show, I think, to where I want it to be, or at least where I feel it's presentable, which is hopefully going to be a pretty high quality show. And I'm really excited to be utilizing some talent from the Theta community for original music and like video graphics and stuff like that. It's always a thrill for me to bring in other community members and to hire people on for T Fuel. I just love that. I love
Nice.
that. I've got this NFT project where I'm getting paid for my artwork in T Fuel, and then I can go and spread the wealth and hire musicians and other artists and pay them in T Fuel as well. I mean, that's just, to me, that's perfect. Zero banking, all blockchain. Love it.
Yeah, very cool. Absolutely. So I'm assuming the kind of the next thing on your calendar is the drop coming February.
Yes, indeed. So gonna be a lot of hype leading up to the drop at the end of February, I hope. And then March is going to be just airdrop derbies, so that we can get those 3 badges out to everyone, so that people can collect the 6 badges, so that I can airdrop them the tickets, and still give everyone 5 months to plan a trip. In the case of tripping, that's a new thing that I just kind of sprang on everyone right now. So this is the first anyone's hearing about it.
Breaking
And
news.
those are going to get, yeah, you heard it here first, folks. And those are going to get dropped. I'll probably do the drop for the first ticket for the original series of fish before the second set of fish drop. And then
Coming up
and
soon
then
then.
yeah, so we'll start doing that in the new year. I wanted to I needed a break because fall is an early winter. Going into the early winter, living this lifestyle is a lot of hard work, gathering your firewood, getting all your supplies together, getting all
Like
your
a squirrel.
groceries together, and and just making sure the house is up to snuff, and you can get through another long cold winter. And then it's ThetaCon, it's Christmas season, everyone, so no one's paying attention to me anyway, so that's great. I'm just going to keep my nose to the grindstone and draw and get this project looking really sharp, and focus on the roadmap. And then when everyone comes to after their New Year's festivities and figures out what state they're in and how they're going to get home, I'll pop back up, and we'll start going full force at the beginning of the year, and ramping up another season of Camp Theta and some canoe fishing. Fishing season will be open.
Very cool. We'll definitely be looking forward to that, and we'll certainly help spread some news once we get a little closer as well.
Well, thank you kindly. I'm gonna try and gamify Camp Theta this year as well. So there might just be auctions for NFTs that represent the contestants in the Wilderverse games. And we'll do like an American Idol style kind of pot splitting thing with whoever holds the winning NFT.
The winner? Oh, cool.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Was there? I don't know if there's anything that we missed that you wanted to get out there.
Baba Booey. No, I'm good.
Yeah, well, electric fish. What is it? Smoked fish to electric canoe coming soon. Working title.
I don't mind that at all. I was looking for some kind of electric something or other. So maybe that's how
Canoe and Boogaloo kind of go together, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. It's going to be wild.
Well, thanks so much for having me on the show, guys. It was wonderful.
And luckily, too, you only had to sit through one technical hiccup. So that's also a good place to be.
And we didn't have to re-record.
Okay.
Right.
Well, if you didn't have at least one hiccup, there wouldn't be anything worth talking about, right? So
yeah.
It makes it memorable.
All right, man. Well, we certainly appreciate you joining us and getting to learn more about your project and you. And we wish you the best and can't wait to see you on the Trueverse and check out the smoked fish coming up part 2 in February.
All right. Thanks again, guys. Have a great night.
All right. Have a great. You too. Thank you.
You have been listening to the Pops and Mags Pinecast. Music provided by Sushi Cat. Like what you hear? Send that cat a treat at feedthecat.theta. Pops and Mags is a scumbag hat production in association with Kyle's Hot Tub.